Hello and welcome to Opinions and Beer. We're your hosts, Eamon,
Hey.
Adam, and we also got Whining with Edray. In fact, today's episode we are going to This is going to be.
We're just going to start out with Edray.
I think Edray's going to love this topic today because it's probably his favorite topic of this particular topic. It's his favorite chance to talk about a certain topic that he can talk about this topic, entertainment-wise. It's his favorite entertainment topic. It's Edray's favorite entertainment topic. We've got a bracket for you coming up soon, and we love having Edray on this bracket because he shares a good perspective of his opinion of what's better than what. But first, to give you his opinion on some wine and shit. Wine. I'm trying to say whining. I am whining. We have Whining with Edray, where Edray reviews a wine. We're going to let him open up today's episode. So please give it up for Whining with Edray.
Alright, welcome everyone to Whining with Edray, and today we're going to be reviewing Sideshow wine from Australia. This is number 2, the Puppet Master kind of wine here. And let's go ahead and open this bottle here. See the nice flavor here. It's going to be a good combination. This is a combination of Shiraz and Cabernet Sauvignon. 55% Shiraz, and I'll tell you what Shiraz is as I read this description.
What is Shiraz?
Well, Shiraz is a combination of blackberry plum and a hint of dark chocolate and licorice aromas. Oh. So that is a multivariant wine right there. And Cabernet Sauvignon is a very strong wine from, I think, dark red grapes that are usually.
It's a heavy / dark red, correct?
Yes, and let's go ahead and read this description. The Puppet Master is a playful blend of Shiraz and Cabernet Sauvignon from southeastern Australia. Blackberry plum and a hint of dark chocolate and licorice aromas set the stage for ripe raspberry and strawberry notes that linger on the palate. Sweet tannins give this irrepressible wine a soft but satisfying structure. And this is from Australia and 13.5% alcohol by volume, so I'm going to go ahead and take a sniff of this.
What do you think the process is exporting a wine all the way from Australia to America?
I think what they do is ferment the wine and then they put it in some sort of glass container or something, and then ship it all the way to California. So it's basically imported in California.
Okay.
All right, so now I'll go ahead and take a sip of this.
It looks from here I can tell that it's a very, very deep red.
Yeah, and the deeper the red the wine is, the stronger the antioxidants. And that's one of the things about Cabernet Sauvignon. It is a very strong wine compared to your typical red grape wine. And I'm going to say right now, this has a very sweet taste. Not as good as Carlo Rossi wine, but it comes very close. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and give this an 8 out of 10.
Wow, 8 out of 10. Woo!
Good score. And personally myself, I'm prone to Cabernet Sauvignon.
I mean, it looks good. The Puppet Master. Jeez. What alcohol percentage you said that was?
Once again, it is 13.5% alcohol by volume.
You get fucking drunk.
Ooh yeah, and someone's gonna Puppet Master you.
And this wine's gonna clean my arteries from all that oily tacos that I ate.
Oh man. So for the beer of the day on Opinions and Beer, we have Odell's Brewing Oktoberfest. It's a Marzen style lager. It is 6.1% alcohol by volume. Oh yeah, Marzen.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I was Okay, so it says Oktoberfest Marzen style lager on it. Odell Brewing Company. It's got. You can immediately tell that this is more. The Odell Brewing Company is more of a craft beer brewing company. Immediately from the fancy artwork on the can. I don't know why this is a consistent theme, but for some reason, craft brewers care more about their artwork than than other regional brewers. It says it was brewed with traditional Munich malts and herbal noble hops. It says our Oktoberfest is a celebration of autumn in Colorado. We're in Texas, so we're going to give this a Texas review.
Ooh, from Colorado, 6.1%.
Does it say what the IBUs were? Oh, by the way, like when we were reviewing the other beers, one of them...
Only one of them had IBUs.
Only one of them had IBUs, and it was 25.
Yeah.
That's what it said. I don't know if I believe that at all, because it tastes way better.
Oh, shoot. Let's see what this tastes like.
Why are you saying, oh, shoot, what's going on?
This might be trying to lie to us.
No?
Let's see. We're going to taste this and see if it tastes like the other Marzen styles that we've had.
Immediately, the first thing I can... Here, one second. Immediately, one of the first things that I can tell the difference between this beer and the other type of Marzens is this one is darker. And what I feel like usually the darker ones have a bit more flavor in them.
Yeah. Because of thicker, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also they might be adding a little bit extra into them, and that's what's changing the color of it or whatever.
Yeah.
All the ones that tasted a little bit worse kind of seemed like they looked a little bit lighter, and I don't know why that is. I think we were speculating last time that that's potentially something to do with the malts and how the brewer makes it, and whether they're using just straight. What type of yeast were you saying?
It was traditional Marzen, no, Munich malt and herbal yeast. It's either you can either have lager yeast or ale yeast. Yeah. I have a weird feeling that this was brewed with ale yeast, even though it's saying lager. But on here, I see an ALE. I'm not sure if that's just like a traditionally, or if they just normally put that there, or if they're trying to say that there's
it definitely
ale
says
stuff.
lager on it, and like
there's lager right here, but right here on the side where it says 6.1% alcohol by volume.
Yeah.
L.
You're right, it does. Maybe for legal standpoints, because of its actual scientific classification or something, they had to put L on there.
So we're going to taste this beer, and if it does not taste like a lager, I don't know what to think, because it says L on the side.
Okay, this is one of the unique beers that I do get an aroma from.
More aroma than St. Arnold's, huh?
Way more. And, I can already kind of gauge on the smell. Did that taste that tastes like a good old bread beer? It's gonna taste real. Let's try it.
Let's be like extra bready. That's probably the best fucking Oktoberfest we've had today.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Like as soon as we tried this, it was like, wow.
I was so worried I wasn't gonna like an Oktoberfest, but
no, it's such a breath of fresh air versus all the other beers we've tried.
Yeah, this one's pretty good.
But we can't. We got to go off of what we've tried already, what we can base, what we think a Marzen is, and I don't know, man. I think this beer tastes too good. I think that. Remember what I was saying? Like I was saying that I feel like the Marzens are the type of beer that it's a blank canvas almost. That it has one unique flavor to it, and that you can kind of. I feel like it's a very good place for brewers to try and expand upon, because it does have a nice, bold, unique, individualistic flavor.
But people that love the taste of it's such a beer taste.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, it like you don't come home after having one of these and be like. it feels like I had a nice mixed drink at the. No, you're like, damn, I had a beer tonight.
Yeah.
I had a beer.
It's a very beery beer, and that's what that's the one thing about lagers that lagers kind of have over ales. That lagers are very beer tasting beers, but maybe that might be just mental. I'm saying that, but that's a mental thing because that's just what the.
I've got so many weird flavors. I'm like, was that bacon? Like, was that, chocolate? Was that? What was that?
Yeah.
I feel like potentially, because okay, there's, in a lot of the really good beers that we rate high, I feel like some of the bourbon barrel aged ones have a very similar caramelized syrupy flavor that just hits the spot as soon as you taste it. And I don't know what it is that causes that, but it's almost an immediate noticeable flavor every single time, right?
Right.
This has notes of that in about a medium quantity, I would say. So it's, I mean, if you're trying to compare this to the other Marzens, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. None of those beers taste anything like this beer.
It doesn't taste anything like it. It's somewhat particular. We've tasted a lot of Oktoberfest recently, and this one just is a tad bit different.
I would say that
the same.
It feels similar to kind of like Sierra Nevada and it tastes like the Sierra Nevada and the Sam Adams mixed or something.
Kind of has like
or St. Arnold. This feels like the Sierra Nevada and the St. Arnold's mixed a little bit.
Maybe
and then bourbon barrel aged.
Oh my god.
Doesn't it kind of taste
because it's weird because it has that thick, kind of a thick sweet malt taste.
Yeah.
But then it has the crisp, lighter side that we got from the Sierra Nevada.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's
the more traditional style, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. We have to go from speculation.
But speaking of things that are the same but different, apparently, Uncut Gems. Have you heard of this? Have you heard of the movie Uncut Gems? Coming out soon?
Have I heard of the movie Uncut Gems?
Coming out soon?
No, well, I kind of live in a bubble, as it is. I get weird bits and pieces of horrible political things that are going on, and then updates in the gaming community, updates in crypto libertarian circles, etc. And then I might get a little bit of outside sources, a little bit of media coverage, a little bit of movies, etc. Movies, music, etc. I know who the Little Nas X is.
Oh yes,
I know
Little Nas X.
I know who Billie Eilish is. So that's some progress. I mean, that's about it. That's the two people that I remember.
Well,
how do Billie Eilish and Lil Nas X relate to this movie that you're about to...
Uncut Gems. Well,
Uncut Gems, yes.
It's coming out. It's made by the A24 people, the same people that did Hereditary and all that.
They did Hereditary. They did, most recently, what was the summer... Midsommar. That was A24. A24, I know that they're a B company movie, but they have done a lot of
stuff that's getting
really classy,
and it's stuff that's getting awards.
Yeah,
right? It's award recognized.
Yeah, exactly.
At least recognized. And they have a movie coming out called Uncut Gems. It's not necessarily a horror film. It seems more of a thriller, kind of like a crime thriller, starring Adam Sandler. And people are saying that have seen the movie are saying that Adam Sandler...
It's not Jewish enough.
They're saying Adam Sandler might get an Oscar for his performance in Uncut Gems. And that's how good Adam Sandler is in this movie.
Yeah, but I feel like those people probably said the same thing about Click, too.
But
I mean, I'm just going off of...
I don't know.
I feel like look, don't get me wrong. I like Adam Sandler. I loved Billy Madison. I loved Hellboy. Or, no, it wasn't called Hellboy. What was it? Little Nicky. I love Little Nicky. I loved Billy Madison. I think that Adam Sandler did a really good job. You know, he's a funny guy. What was it? 8 Crazy Nights?
Yeah.
Or 13 Days of Christmas. I can't remember. 8 Crazy Nights?
Right.
Yeah, like, so he's done some really good stuff. He gave us the Lunch Lady song. Right? I feel like potentially these people are a little too forgiving of Adam Sandler.
But I kind of I seen the trailer for it, and it looks it looks pretty dark, and it looks like Adam Sandler might actually be acting.
Oh, really? He was like, oh, this is so crazy. It's so dark and terrifying.
Apparently, there's a scene.
Apparently
there are parts in this movie where he does do full Adam Sandler, but they're saying it actually works in this movie as like a thriller, where he's apparently in the.
Oh my God! What's that outside?
Apparently, he keeps taking money from people, like gangsters and wealthy people, and he keeps like gambling all of it. And so he keeps taking more money, and then he gambles it, and then he has like millions of people after him, and he's like stealing diamonds and weird stuff like that, and selling the diamonds, and apparently it's just like a crazy movie.
Wow, I mean, it sounds interesting as hell.
But before this movie comes out,
but so did Click.
Before this movie comes out, I wanted for me, Eamon, and Edray to take a look at Adam Sandler filmography in this Adam Sandler movie bracket.
Oh shit! I thought I had already gone through about half of it. That's awesome. Cool.
So we're
gonna go through the full thing.
So we're gonna start off with
Mr. Deeds.
Well, we're gonna start off with movies that. So I didn't include any uncredited.
Wait. I mean, 1 second. I want to get Edray's opinion. Thus far, what has been hands down the best Adam Sandler movie in your opinion?
Punch Drunk Love.
We'll see what happens.
Who was his co-star in Punch Drunk Love?
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Okay. Oh, hey, I know what you're talking. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a dramatic film instead of a comedy film. That's what made it so different.
Wasn't Philip Seymour Hoffman also in Mr. Deeds as like the friend or some shit?
No, that's a what you're talking about. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Okay, maybe.
Look him up.
I have all the movies right here.
He's that guy that I probably shouldn't say that he's has been.
Okay. Isn't he dead?
Philip Seymour. Oh, yeah, I think he did actually recently.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eamon is a moron.
Hey, I'm not a moron. I'm just stating the facts. Before he died, he was a has-been, and you know.
So I have
if he's not dead right now, the fact that we're talking about that he's probably
so
dead
I have an Adam Sandler movie bracket, and I'm starting off. I have not included anything he was uncredited for.
Okay, but what? I mean, we got to get to the bottom of this. Why Punch Drunk Love?
Because it was a dramatic film and it was something different. It's something I've never seen from Adam Sandler before, so it was a very compelling story about a salesman and a crime boss or whatever, and some woman that Sandler's character fell in love with, and it was just a pretty decent storyline. It was something I've never seen before from Sandler.
So is that the bar that we need to hold movies at, though? Is like, should we hold the bar of movies at? Has Adam Sandler already done this type of movie?
Oh my god.
Every Adam Sandler movie that is not dramatic is so cliched. We've seen it thousands of times and it gets boring after a while.
So I have included movies that he's not the main character, but he is credited.
Okay, so
a movie with him not the main character could win this bracket, essentially.
Okay, I mean that's potential. Like one of the ones I know that was that he wasn't the star of, but probably kind of launched his acting career a bit, was like what, Mixed Nuts?
I had this on here.
Yeah, because Mixed Nuts was one of the ones that that was like full Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
Fucking Adam Sandler doing his thing, and people were just like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
Are you guys ready to get into this?
Edray, you ready?
Let's move on. Let's go for it.
So first up, we're gonna start off with his appearances movies.
Okay.
He's not the main character. We're gonna do Mixed Nuts.
So wait, is this including films that he potentially is like produced, like the Happy Madison stuff? Because like if that's the thing that you're considering off, he wasn't in Grandma's Boy, but
No.
apparently
He has to be in it.
production
It has to be him. He has to be in it and credited.
because
being in it.
Grandma's Boy is one of my favorite.
He has to have a
movies ever.
scene where he's credited.
Okay.
It can't even be a cameo. It has to be like a 2-minute scene.
Okay, like full scene. Okay.
Okay. So we have Mixed Nuts versus Coneheads.
He was in Coneheads?
Yep.
Who was he in Coneheads? Don't get me wrong, it's been a long time since probably me or anyone else has seen Coneheads. But I mean,
Edray, do you remember him from Coneheads?
Only thing I remember was Chris Farley in Coneheads.
He was the guy that set
He was
Robert Arduchico.
He was the guy that set up Robert Arduchico.
He was the guy that set up Dan Aykroyd's character.
Dan Aykroyd's
with
character
a
with the car salesman, the guy.
no, with Social Security.
Social Security.
He sold him a Social Security number.
He sold him a Social Security number.
okay. I'll have to like go back and rewatch. Coneheads was
It's
like
a very small scene.
But
it was such a good movie that I understand why it's put into this list. 'Cause it's like Coneheads by itself is just a.
But he's credited. I said if he's uncredited, he wasn't included. I mean, not in the credits. Not in the like when the movie ended and the credits rolled, was he listed?
But I mean, like when I think of Coneheads, I think of Chris Farley, Dan Aykroyd, and then the two female leads as well.
Right.
I just am not smart enough to remember the names.
But which was the better movie, Mixed Nuts or Coneheads?
Mixed Nuts or Coneheads? Dude, that's a hard decision. Mixed Nuts was they're two totally separate genres. So it's hard to gauge which one is better.
Edray, do you have a vote for us?
I feel like in the sense of Adam Sandler, yeah, let's go ahead and let Edray say something.
Let's see, I don't... What was the first choice?
Mixed Nuts.
Have you seen Mixed Nuts?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's got
the white hair.
It's got Lieb Schreiber as a tranny. It's got Steve Martin.
Steve Martin
as the main character. Adam Sandler is only in one scene.
No, he's in the full ending.
Okay. Excuse me. He is he's a neighbor tenant that like is there whenever the crazy shit
And he's
of
playing
Mixed
music.
Nuts is going
And he's
on.
singing music to that chick.
He plays a ukulele or a guitar. He plays like a ukulele. And he's like, oh, and he sings weird Adam Sandlerisms to the people, and it's so weird that it works in the movie because it's so weird.
I guess let's keep this Adam Sandler
I think that
tradition.
is like a natural Adam Sandler-ness vibe. Like I would say that there's more of natural / Adam Sandler in Mixed Nuts than there is in Coneheads. You know what I'm saying?
So let's keep this. Let's not say the better movie. Let's say Adam Sandler.
Because Coneheads is an amazing movie. It's hard for any of the other movies to like reach Coneheads level.
So I guess in reference to Adam Sandler, I would have to give the edge to Mixed Nuts because he was pretty Adam Sandler in Mixed Nuts. He was himself.
Yeah. Whereas Coneheads, like, well, I mean, I didn't even know he was in it.
Yeah.
To be honest, like.
Edray, do you agree with this or no?
I don't know what my opinion would be on this.
It's 2 against 1.
Yeah,
So
he hasn't seen Mixed Nuts, so he can't play.
Mixed Nuts moves forward. Hopefully, how about the next movie? The next versus is the animal versus hot chick.
Oh, I'm gonna give this one to the hot chick because of the obvious.
I can't remember. All right, I remember the
He's
animal.
more memorable in hot chick, I think.
I don't
Because
remember Hot
he's
Chick.
like the like he's in that weird fucking Earthbound store. And Adam Sandler, he plays the drums and stuff. He's like, ho ho ho! He's way more memorable in Hot Chick than Animal. I think Animal he might have. I think he's just one of the people that are screaming shit in the crowd.
What was Hot Chick about? I don't remember.
Hot Chick. What's
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider says it's literally his best movie he's ever done. He said in an interview, many interviews, that Hot Chick is his best movie.
I remember Animal. I remember.
Hot Chick is when he switches bodies with that. He's like an older dude, and obviously he's Rob Schneider, but he's Rob Schneider and switches body with like this teenager chick, and then he's like, and then like, and he has to like act like the girl or whatever,
Okay.
and like he is her. Falls in love.
So is it the girl acting as Rob Schneider?
Yeah, the girl's
the
acting
girl's
like Rob
body?
Schneider, and Rob Schneider has to
Okay.
act like the girl.
Okay.
And it's like super. You know, this is
So good.
this is like literally his best movie. And Rob Schneider
Really?
says it is.
I mean, that's so sad, but okay.
Rob Schneider says this is his best film, and he wishes he could do something on that.
Probably he
similar.
wishes he could do something better. I feel like Rob Schneider is an amazing actor with a very limited amount of movie forefront space.
But
he's only done like
he
one
says
to
things-
two like movies where
he's
been
like,
the
and
main.
I got a penis.
And
I
they're
don't know how to
both the
use it. I don't know how to use I don't know how to use my penis. It's like, and like all of his her friends, because he's her, and she's having to explain to her friends that she's a dude now. And they're like, "Well, show us your penis." She has to show them his penis. And they're like, "Oh, you have a penis now." What the fuck?
Well, I want to say one thing about Rob Schneider. Ever since he turned conservative, he's been irrelevant from television. You hardly ever see him on television anymore.
He's mentioned a lot of Rob Schneider was
really?
like pretty conservative and like
I feel like like both him and like Vince Vaughn are both like pretty libertarianish.
yeah, and they get
Vince Vaughn is a
And they get
registered
screwed.
libertarian.
And they get screwed
I don't
on
know
Rawls.
about Rob Schneider, but I'm assuming since they were
Yeah,
so close knit that
you need to look up one of his interviews with like a news station, and they ask him like a question that they were expecting like a nothing answer from, and he goes on like 10 minutes of like knowledge and like, you're so funny. He's like, it was like legit.
Yeah.
He was like saying legit stuff, and they just did not expect that from him.
no, they're like, oh well, Rob
It was
Schneider,
shocking.
haha.
Yeah, it was shocking. It was just kind of shocking. You could see their faces that they were shocked that Rob Schneider was just spilling political knowledge, and they were
that he was Rob Schneider's woke AF.
yeah. I thought that was just that was pretty funny. You have to like look it up.
I mean, and it's to each their own, because not everybody probably identifies with the same views as Rob Schneider or whatever. It's maybe not even the same as us. Like, it's just one of those things where like you have to try and keep an open mind. Like, you can't be force fed the same stuff over and over and just like fucking like try and use that as your basis. Take a mixture of what you personally believe versus everything.
So these are two Rob Schneider flicks that have Adam Sandler. I think The Animal is the better Rob Schneider flick, even though Hot Chick he says is his best. But I think Hot Chick. I think Hot Chick. Yeah, I think Hot Chick has the better Adam Sandler stuff in it, and therefore I go with Hot Chick.
Now, like, look, I remember Rob Schneider in The Animal. I don't even remember Adam Sandler in The Animal. I thought I remembered Hot Chick, but I guess I don't remember Hot Chick. That's a crazy ass story.
So it's really up to Edray.
So you're telling me that Rob Schneider showed his junk to a bunch of teenage girls in a movie?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that that's what, like, we have it on record that Rob Schneider did do that.
Yes.
And then was like, oh, but I'm actually a girl in this movie, so
Yes.
it's okay. It's okay to show these teenage girls my penis because I'm legit playing teenage girl in this movie.
Oh my god.
So who wins out of those two movies?
I'm gonna have to give the edge to the hot chick.
For the very progressive storyline.
Yeah. I mean, I like Rob Schneider a lot better today than I did back then, but still.
So you guys are gonna have to help me with this next versus. Shakes the Clown versus Going Overboard.
I've seen Going Overboard. Adam Sandler's in that?
He's the main character in Going Overboard and Shakes the Clown. He's actually Shakes the Clown. He is the clown.
I've never seen Shakes the Clown.
Me neither.
Do you have a picture of Shakes the Clown?
Yes. Let me pull one up. Shakes the Clown, 1991.
I thought Going Overboard was
Look,
Walter what's his name?
this movie.
Holy shit! Look at this.
Well, I guess he's a clown. I don't know if he's
Bobcat Goldthwait, Julie Brown, Shakes the Clown, loved by children, desired by women, adored by bartenders everywhere.
What the fuck? I think he's a clown because he's credited as a clown. I thought he was Shakes.
Oh no! It looks like Bobcat is the clown. You remember when Bobcat? I guess his name is Bobcat Goldthwait. Was a like top tier, front of the line comedian.
Maybe. Look. Okay. Here it is.
It's definitely Adam Sandler's voice. You can run, but you cannot hide. You sorry motherfucker.
So, that Shakes the Clown, and let's find a good Going Overboard. And that's what we take. We're gonna judge this on going
5 second fucking videos clips. The most popular 5 second clip from the videos is what we'll have to gauge it off of. That one was pretty good because I feel like it was Adam Sandler being full Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you. This is a no budget flick, not a low budget flick. No budget. Just like this would be an earthquake right here.
We've said that before. I've literally said that to
See,
someone
that
about our
causes
movie.
anything right there. Now enjoy the flick. I'll see you later.
So this wasn't a low budget movie. This was a no budget movie. He's just running up a bunch of stairs, all awkwardly.
Careful, man.
Look, he's just...
All ashore that's going ashore. Oh, all right, here we are on the deck, ready to rock and roll. Start the picture. I'm here in my waiter suit right now, and
What the fuck is going on in this movie?
You remember
Hard
when
to believe that was 30 years ago.
I know it's so crazy to see Adam Sandler as like a college guy making movies. Like, oh shit, what's going on? Who gives a fuck? Check this out.
right here. Hey, waiter, where's my Bloody Mary? Ah, yes. And make it bloody. Ah, yes, sir.
Back when Adam Sandler was clean shaven, now he's got that stubble look.
Hey, asshole.
Bring me another one. Ah, yes, man.
What the fuck?
I'm hoping this is not copyrighted.
It's good.
The music, I don't know. Who knows?
Oh! It's shit in the Bloody Mary.
Okay, so there's birds flying overhead, and a bird just shit in the
I
Bloody Mary.
know, he's gonna serve it.
He's like, he looked at it and he looked up and he goes, "Ah!" and then just served it back to the lady that was like, "Bring me another."
He's drinking.
Oh, this is crazy.
I'll tell you, I was doing that with a girl last week, but I was going crazy. She's going crazy.
That guy sounds like Joe Pesci.
That's
Anyways,
Yeah, you might have to pause that. There's no telling what they're about to fucking say. That looked like a pretty over the top movie.
but
No, I was thinking that was the one with the Hello Dolly actor. You know, Donald Walter. I can't remember his name.
where the lady falls off the yacht.
No, but yes, I know what you're talking about. I think
Okay.
that's the same guy. I was thinking that was what they're. It's definitely not. Okay.
So Shakes the Clown on Going Overboard, based off those 5-minute clips.
I feel like you had more acting from what's his name?
Adam Sandler.
From Adam Sandler in this one, but I also feel like that it potentially
Now
wasn't Adam Sandler's actual
Going
comedy.
Overboard was Adam Sandler's first official movie.
Okay, so that was
his. Here's Adam Sandler.
shit. See, and that's amazing because I mean my perception of it was that I thought that was the least Adam Sandler of.
Well, that was the first movie he ever did ever.
So I mean,
before that, it was just-
it goes to play like in the count like how much is he, projecting a character versus like what we know Adam.
I mean,
Sandler
I don't think
is.
Adam Sandler takes control of his stuff until probably Billy Madison. I think he doesn't make anything until Billy Madison, and then and before that though, like shit,
it's all
going-
his
it's-
acting or whatever.
yeah, it's him just. It's just him doing his SNL stuff. Because I mean, he had just left SNL. This is like his first. This is his first movie post SNL.
Yeah. Hey, did we give a? I know this is a little off topic, but
We
did
haven't gave the
give a
Oktoberfest a rating yet.
because I've actually mixed the Oktoberfest in with the Coke
Mm-hmm.
and the Odell Brewing Company Oktoberfest is the only one that I've tasted with the Coke that does not taste good. I just thought it's a very unique thing because I tasted all of the other beers that we had with this Coke. And
But I think
they
it
were
just has
tasted-
it has different flavors too, though.
Exactly. So I feel like that I think that the traditional Marzens, like the Sierra Nevada one, and more of like the Carbach style ones that I feel like probably were the worst tasting ones. I feel like they benefited the most from being paired with.
Yeah,
the
they were so
soda.
light; they had no flavor. This has kind of a bite to it. I wish I knew the IBUs.
Yeah,
'Cause
no,
it kind of has a bite for
that's
a
what I'm
lager.
saying. It does. It has
It's like almost like a
has bold flavors and then has a bite to it as
Yeah.
well.
has like a weird alcoholic bite.
I could view like
It was only 6.
if I were going for if I actually genuinely liked Marzens, which I don't, like I feel like it's like a new fucking IPA, but I guess it's an old tradition long German lager.
So what do you get the Edray? What do you give the from those clips? What do you give the point to? Shakes the Clown or Going Overboard?
Going Overboard.
I might have to give it the Going Overboard. I feel like I thought I thought he was a bigger role in Shakes the Clown, but it looks like he might be just a side clown.
No, it looked like it was a side clown voice.
I think because of that, I'm gonna give it Going Overboard.
It was a good voice acting job. He was doing a really good job in that. But I feel like you said, if the other one, if Going Overboard was more of actual Adam Sandler, like in control, then
Yeah.
How can we not give that to Adam Sandler?
Next up,
Adam Sandler did a bad job acting as Adam Sandler.
we have The Waterboy versus The Longest Yard. It's a football movie versus football movie.
You want to start with this one, Eamon?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you from. Here's the difference. Two things. One, The Waterboy was an original adaptation.
Yes.
That was an original. It was funded by Saturday Night Live, so it wasn't or it may have been Happy Madison, etc. So they weren't like as breakout as some of the other ones, but like, excuse me, I said that wrong. It was more breakout than the other ones because it was solely like Adam Sandler like getting out on his own.
Yeah.
The second one that you said, Longest Yard, was a It was a remake, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was a remake of an original story.
What's cool though is they had what's his name portray the come back, and he portrayed the older man or whatever. And
Yeah, I feel like
Burt Reynolds. They had Burt Reynolds come back because Burt Reynolds was the main character in the first Longest Yard, and he came back to play the older guy that he played. Yeah, whatever. That was in his movie.
yeah. So it was. I mean, personally, like overall, storyline wise, The Longest Yard is a better story. Okay.
Okay.
That does not mean that it is a better movie. Like I personally didn't even like. I didn't really like the new Longest Yard.
Did you see all
Now,
in it?
look, dude, I saw everybody
Stone
in it.
Cold.
I saw everyone in it. I
Stone
saw how
Cold
good of a
Steve
movie it was. This is my opinion: is that I did not really like. And it's not
Kevin Nash.
like, dude. Okay,
Kevin Nash taking fucking hormone pills and his nipples are whatever nipples.
Yeah, man, that's the type of staged bullshit that I just don't like in most normal movies.
Okay.
It's one of the reasons why I stopped watching most normal movies, more recent ones or whatever. That's my personal opinion. I think that Adam Sandler took The Longest Yard, and then remade it. And they did the movie The Longest Yard a good justice. They really did. Like, they made it, they brought it to the modern community, and they portrayed it in a very good way. But fucking Waterboy is hilarious.
Yes.
Waterboy has some of the best one-liners of all time, of any fucking movie. Like, high quality H2O. Like, I'll fucking remember that for forever. The medulla oblongata.
The medulla. I'm sorry, Colonel
Mama
Sanders.
said,
Colonel Sanders, you're wrong.
she showed me her boobies and that was good too.
Show me her boobies.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Mama
like
said
that
Mama said the alligators are mad because they got all those teeth but no toothbrush.
Okay. Now, alligators.
Edray, what's your favorite line from
medulla
Waterboy?
oblongata.
There are so many lines, I'm not going to recite them.
Okay.
Do the you can do it.
You can do it. Cut his bleeping head off.
Get off. Okay, so
Oh god.
look, Longest Yard. Longest Yard was Chris Rock as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like, it was a really good movie. Potentially
And Chris Rock dies in it.
a
it.
better movie than The Waterboy. But personally,
The
like,
Waterboy was so fun. It was like so Adam.
exactly. Like, I'm a comedy guy. Like,
Maybe
I
that's
like
what-
comedies.
You know what?
I'm gonna like Waterboy over Longest Yard.
I feel like maybe Adam Sandler was just trying to do a serious Waterboy.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's just... He wanted to do just a serious football movie compared to The Waterboy.
I mean, and we do have to look at the facts. Longest Yard did come out after Waterboy, correct?
Yeah.
So maybe it was one of those, like, maybe he was looking at Waterboy and he was like, like, this is a really good movie, but it's kind of
What's
bullshit
also funny,
too.
what's
It's kind
also
of
crazy
bullshit.
is Waterboy also has a wrestler in it. Big Show.
Yeah.
So what's up with football? What's up with Adam Sandler's football movies and him having wrestlers in the football movies?
So,
That's crazy.
I think that you probably have a better indication on this than most, Edray, but I feel like that how does Vince McMahon and WWE and all of their like marketing, cross promotion, etc., how does that play into modern movies and shit? Because I feel like in the past that wasn't as noticeable of a thing, but I feel like as time has progressed, we've noticed it's like, dude, okay, so all of like The Rock's in almost every movie now. Batista is in a lot of the Marvel movies, etc. Stone Cold, etc. All these wrestlers are going out as actors, and how do we attribute that towards their own personal intervention versus what like McMahon is trying to set up for him or whatnot? What do you think?
Well, I think the reason why a lot of these wrestlers become successful actors is because of their charisma from the days of the wrestling business. So they decided to apply their charisma in the movie business, and they realized that they are much more successful in it. I mean, yeah, if you go back to the 1980s when Roddy Piper was one of the first wrestlers to get into acting, it was unheard of at the time. And then when Hulk Hogan did it, it was not so good because Hogan was not a great actor outside of wrestling. But his marketability in wrestling is what made him popular. Now, if you go,
Piper was in They Live, correct?
yeah, he was in a lot of movies that I cannot think of off the top of my head. But if you go another 20 years after Hogan or something like that, you see that The Rock had success with The Mummy Returns and The Scorpion King, and subsequently other wrestlers that were becoming larger than life were getting good roles in Hollywood, subsequently becoming richer in Hollywood than they were in the wrestling business, and that was how people like John Cena eventually got out of the wrestling business and into Hollywood and television and all that, because, once again, they had charisma, and that is one of the reasons why a lot of wrestlers in the WWE today are not larger than life, because Vince McMahon has a stranglehold on all of the wrestlers that are there, because every time a wrestler gets popular with the crowd, subsequently their charisma gets into Hollywood and then become more successful in Hollywood, and that's why a lot of these wrestlers by the age of 40 decide to quit wrestling, because they're making more money in Hollywood.
So, and I think that it's what you just spoke about is kind of like a quintessential thing, because, I mean, just for example, Hogan, right? Like Hulk Hogan, when we were in the 90s growing up, we saw so many, like I saw him wrestling, I saw him doing this and that. He was a toy everywhere. And then also he started filming in, like, what is it? Like The Nanny.
Yeah, The Nanny.
Or like
Mr. Nanny. It's Mr. Nanny.
Yeah, Mr. Nanny, and then a couple of other like movies like that where he really like broke out and was more in the public's eye, even more so than he already was.
Yeah, and the wrestling fans were not ready for him to be in movies yet. That's why a lot of his movies flopped.
And I feel like with the amount of wrestlers that do project into that whole acting scene, it's impossible not to say that there's some type of inside track between McMahon and maybe some of these other media personalities. I mean, what is your speculation on that? Do you think there's some kind of like inner circle or whatever?
Well, there may be, but I'm not going to confirm nor deny it, because wrestlers make their own choice what they want to do in the business before they retire, and if they want to act in television or the movies, that is their choice.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I guess we should get back to that.
If you want to go through some of these, let's get some votes in.
So, Mr. Nanny or Waterboy?
No. What was it? What were the movies?
Longest Yard or Waterboy?
Oh, I'm going to give it to The Waterboy, because let me tell you something. As good as The Longest Yard is, from Adam Sandler's point, it will never compare to the 1974 original. Because the original was innovative because of the swamp reclamation scenes and the other scenes that were not seen in The Waterboy, because it would be considered too racist for the modern theme out there. But as far as The Waterboy is concerned, it was very groundbreaking, it was innovative, it was original, and it was funny as hell.
Okay. Eamon, what do you say?
I mean, I think that The Longest Yard, for what it was a fucking phenomenal remake of The Longest Yard. I feel like only a select general portion of the population got it. Like, I feel like they were like, hey guys, we did this for you. You're welcome. And then everyone's like, what? Because, like, there was people, like, I was too young to have seen The Longest Yard when The Longest Yard was remade.
It was kind of, The Longest Yard was in that point of remakes,
like
where we didn't care about remakes yet, right?
Yeah, exactly. As a standalone, I thought that The Longest Yard was not a good movie. I was like, what is this? And then come to find out later on down the line, The Longest Yard was a remake of The Longest Yard, which was a better movie. And it's like, so this was just a lesser modernized version of The Longest Yard? So how do I gauge that versus an older movie? And so you have to say, I feel like when The Longest Yard / Waterboy were made, that was like peak movie monopoly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Harvey Weinsteins and etc., the people in power there had full creative control over literally everything. So for us to have gotten some of the movies that we did out of that time frame that we can look at like passionately from the past, like I feel like that says a lot about the movie content that was being made. So long as Yard at that point in time was really good, so was Waterboy. You know, like those. Yeah. I felt like that was the strongest movie interaction versus audience of all time.
So you're going with Waterboy?
Yeah, but Waterboy.
Yeah, Waterboy.
Yeah, Waterboy.
Waterboy.
Don't get me wrong. You did a great job, Chris Rock. But yeah, Waterboy.
Oh man. So next we got Airheads versus Bulletproof.
Because there's so many movies. I like those too.
Airheads versus Bulletproof.
Airheads versus Bulletproof. Okay, I think I've seen Airheads.
You know what's Bulletproof?
I don't think. Wait,
Marlon Wayne, or no. Which Wayne's brother is it? Damon Wayans?
If it's not like,
it's Adam Sandler and the Wayans brother.
If it's not Charlie and Fat, then no, I haven't seen Bulletproof. Because I've seen Charlie and Fat.
No, it's like I think one of the Wayans brothers. I always you know what's funny? I always consider it like a weird Die Hard movie because Bruce Willis did a very Die Hard like movie with a Wayans brother, and that same Wayans brother played a cop, almost the same cop he did with the Adam Sandler in Bulletproof. So I feel like Bulletproof is in the same universe.
It's supposed
as
to be
Die Hard.
A Die Hard sidekick movie.
Yes. So
let me run to the restroom.
Okay.
I'll be back.
And
I'm so sorry.
But Edray, have you seen Airheads or Bulletproof?
I don't know of any Airheads, but I remember Bulletproof.
What were your thoughts on Bulletproof?
I think it was one hell of a movie, because Adam Sandler's character was supposed to be some sort of criminal that gets arrested, but after a while, they were trying to board a plane or whatever, and snipers were trying to kill federal agents. They had to run on the plane and fly it. And one of the best things about that movie was that they managed to get out of the plane in time before the plane fell down and crashed and ended up burning. And the best part was the ending when Adam Sandler and Damon Wayans end up in Mexico, and Sandler hits on a chick, and one of the, I think, Mexican gangsters took him outside, and he was screaming, "Mommy, mommy!" while the mama was smoking her weed and smiling. And yeah, that was funny.
But Airheads was it's that rock group. It's Adam Sandler, Brandon Fraser, and I can't remember the other guy. But they take a radio station hostage, so that they play their music.
I don't remember that movie. I don't even know if I saw it.
What's that?
He says Bulletproof.
Oh, okay. So, out of the, give me a synopsis of the two movies, and I'll tell you which one it sounds better.
So, Bulletproof is basically Adam Sandler's a criminal, and Damon Wayans has him arrested, but they have to work together, and they explode a plane, and they go to Mexico together, and then this. He's hitting on this lady, and then the Mexican cartel tries to kill him. And he's like, "Mommy, mommy!" And then it ends. And then Airheads is him, Brandon Fraser, and another guy hold a radio station hostage.
What happens? I mean, that seems like a much shorter synopsis. I haven't seen other movies.
I think Bulletproof is more of a they go from multiple places, and Airheads kind of takes place in a singular. Airheads takes place in a singular location where one thing's going on. Well, they're trying to get their record played.
I feel like as far as acting quality goes, usually single situation movies, single situation movies, they usually force the actor to do more of a job portraying.
I will say,
like
though,
they have to.
but
They're
however-
forced to do a better job.
However,
acting.
Airheads was still in a point where Adam Sandler was kind of doing the mixed nuts type of thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So he like. It was like Adam Sandler shows up and he says something like, "Oh,
Yeah,
yeah."
But,
and then people are like, "Wow, that's fucking." Who's just
I feel like out of the
What?
three, I feel
Okay.
like out of the three, because there's 3 band members. Out of the 3, he might have the least amount of lines. And I think Brandon Fraser is like the lead in that movie.
probably. Out of the 2 movies, I've heard of Airheads. I haven't heard of the other one.
Bulletproof. Cause, well, he's the main character along with Damon Wayans, or he's like the side character to Damon Wayans. He's like the co actor to Damon Wayans. It's like Damon Wayans is a police officer and he gets stuck with Adam Sandler's character, who's like a criminal, and they have to go and do a case.
Look, that sounds so good, but like, how many buddy cop movies have there been? I feel like Airheads, where they take over a radio station. I feel like that probably forced them to do much better scene acting than Bulletproof. So I'm going to go with Airheads just from that.
I guess I'll break the tie, and
I'll
say Airheads.
This kind of goes with your guys' theory.
I'll give Airheads the nod only because overall it was probably the better movie than Bulletproof, and the only thing I got from Bulletproof was that I felt like it was a Die Hard movie. Like it should be along the Die Hard universe. But so Airhead moves on. Next we got Spanglish versus Punch Drunk Love.
Oh, this is gonna be a tough one. Let's have Eamon have it.
Okay. So I just want to I want to be very clear that we're getting into the really shitty movie quality. Like we are both looking at the rise of Adam Sandler and the fucking horrible fall of Adam Sandler that made people be like, "Oh yeah, Adam Sandler." I mean that's it. That's all.
Was Spanglish the one that did it?
I think Spanglish was probably one of the.
I think you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna give it. I haven't even watched Punk Drunk Love, but I'm gonna give Punk Drunk Love.
Punch
the
Drunk
vote.
Love is the one that also was that Jack Nicholson as well, or was that?
No.
Or am I thinking of
You're thinking of the
Anger
movie. Yeah,
Management? Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Spanglish. I feel like Spanglish was the movie that would have killed anyone else's career, but Adam Sandler is in control of his own career,
yeah,
and that's the best thing about Adam Sandler. But Spanglish would have killed anybody else.
yeah, but the bad thing about Adam Sandler is he makes
Jim
movies
Carrey-
like fucking Click and Spanglish.
Like if Jim Carrey was Adam Sandler, Spanglish would have killed Jim Carrey's career.
Well, Jim Carrey did kind of essentially have that stuff. He did, not Liar Liar.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, Liar Liar was a good movie. I'm saying,
Most of the
whenever
movies were good.
he got to, I want to say he started, and this is the thing, is some people think that Jim Carrey's best movie was Me, Myself, and Irene. Some people think that was his worst movie. You know what I'm saying?
That might have been the last movie he did with his success.
Yeah, exactly. Like it felt like that was like a momentum killer. I feel like Adam Sandler had so many potential momentum killers. Like there's so many things that he did wrong.
But he
But it's all still kind of in the same Adam Sandler.
But he
vein,
makes,
so.
but then he keeps making money, and that's why he gets a Netflix deal, and that's why Netflix is going to give him millions of dollars to make 9 movies or whatever.
Really, Adam Sandler's
He's
making
on-
9 movies.
Well,
for,
he's on movie 5 or whatever. He has like 4 more. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
we'll get to them.
We'll get to those. You think that they're better than Spanglish and or
So I'm
Punch
giving
Drunk Love?
I'm giving the Punch Drunk Love
Okay? So
just because
for the people that don't know, because
I
I
know
cannot
Spanglish.
remember. I know the name Punch Drunk Love, and I remember it being
No, I
an
haven't seen
okay
it.
movie. All right,
Only
can you
Edray's seen
describe it? Okay, Edray, do your best to describe Punch Drunk Love for us.
Basically, Punch Drunk Love is about a salesman named Barry, that's played by Adam Sandler, who's getting these weird-ass calls from some gang or whatever, and he gets suspicious about this stuff to a point where he started contacting friends and family members about it. But he ends up meeting this one person who supposedly worked for this gangster or whatever. He ends up falling in love with this woman who supposedly is from Great Britain or something. And let's see. I haven't seen all the movies, so I'm going to try to describe it as best as I can. After a while, the calls were starting to escalate more. Yeah, the calls were starting to escalate more, and he finally gets frustrated to the point where he decides to confront this piece of crap or whatever. And
I thought that you I thought that your information on this movie would be very limited, but it's like you got it like right on the back of your head. It's like.
Well, anyway, after a while, he decides to confront this piece of crap gangster played by Philip Seymour Hoffman, and
okay.
And that's when a lot of crazy things started going down. I can't remember the ending of the movie, but I think at the end of the movie, a woman decides to go back home to Britain, and Barry has to start all over.
So yeah, Punch Drunk Love.
Okay, so like, and we're trying to compare that versus Spanglish, which was also kind of like a romantic comedy, right?
Yeah.
Well, the difference between Punch Drunk Love and Spanglish was that Punch Drunk Love was actually a dramatic film. It was Adam Sandler's first dramatic film, and the critics, they went wild for it. But the reason why it flopped in the box office was because Adam Sandler's fans were not used to drama, and they weren't ready for drama.
No.
And this was the same case for Jim Carrey and The Majestic back in 2001, because The Majestic was Jim Carrey's first major dramatic film, and nobody was ready for it. That was why it flopped.
That's what happens.
Good. That's some very good feedback. I believe.
However, these days, like an Adam Sandler doing a drama, like that's normal now. Like comedians doing dramas and shit.
Yeah, that's because comedians are getting tired of doing comedy. They want to do something a little more serious to prove that they're worth their weight in salt or whatever when they're acting.
I mean, I will say that if you for like the content that we put out, we try and do comedy, and then we try and also do like serious reviews. We do kind of joke reviews too. Like sometimes we say a beer is 2 sharks fucking shy of the moon, if you know what I'm talking about. Whoa! But but at the same time, you get what we're trying to emphasize here. Like, so I mean, I understand that. Like, not every comedian wants to just totally stay in the comedian lane, even if that's what they're tried and tested for.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and put Punch Drunk Love through.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like Punch Drunk Love had just
stuff happening.
Yeah, it had more emphasis on the story. Just like Spanglish. I don't even know what happened. Did either I think that we don't have a confirmation there. I think none of us have addressed it. So I'm assuming that none of us have seen Spanglish.
I think I saw Spanglish. It was Adam Sandler, Tia Leone, and I think Cloris Leachman was the old lady in the film. Okay. And then there was the Mexican mother that was played by, I think, Paz Vega or something like that. Well, anyway, Sandler gets fed up with his overbearing wife played by Tia Leone, and then he ends up finding some sort of solace with the Mexican mother or something like that. I can't remember all the details, but that's what I remember.
Okay, so does he hook up with the Mexican mom or whatever?
I guess so. I haven't seen the movie in so long.
God. Well, that's a pretty interesting movie. I don't know. It's hard to say based off of that. See, I didn't know the synopsis was that he potentially left his wife for their Mexican maid. That's crazy. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I haven't seen it all, but that's what I remember.
Okay, how about
Adam Sandler, man? He you can't say he didn't try and get out there in his different types of movies, right? It's almost like he's tried a different type of movie every single movie.
Let's try. How about The Ridiculous Six versus Sandy Wexler? You seen either of these?
The Ridiculous Six was
Versus
the Western. Right?
Yeah, and Sandy Wexler, he was kind of like a.
Is Ridiculous Six one of the 10 movies
Yeah.
they have with Netflix?
And Sandy Wexler is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sandy Wexler was on Netflix, and he's basically like a. He's a
So I know what
agent. He's an agent.
I know
but
what
he's like a goofy
Ridiculous
agent.
Six is. Ridiculous Six is like a mock Magnificent.
Yes.
Seven. So like it's like a funny western. It's got Chris Pratt, etc.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler, obviously. So like, but I don't know what the Wexler.
Sandy Wexler.
Sandy.
It was
Wexler.
okay.
I don't know what that is.
It was okay, but he kind of plays. It's weird because like there's like a lot of they have like a lot of like actors, like real actors portraying themselves, and then talking about Sandy Wexler. I think Sandy Wexler might have been a real person, and Adam Sandler did a movie of him portraying Sandy Wexler, while also sprinkling actors talking about Sandy Wexler.
Okay. But what is okay?
It's basically
I guess
him just
what's
trying to
the
get
Sandy Wexler story.
Sandy Wexler's basically it's just like he kind of like he seems a little slowish, but he's also like he's like a somehow he's a successful agent for actors and gets actors gigs and stuff. And it just shows kind of like his weird way of doing it. Of him, he basically just annoys people, and so he gets people gigs by just being like kind of like he's just like, come on, man, give me a gig. Come on, we can do it. I'll buy you a coffee. I bought you a coffee. Don't you want a gig?
I mean, you know, it sounds like a really shitty, stupid way to live your life, but I'll be damned if it's not tried and tested.
Yeah.
Like that's how you do sales.
Yeah. So it's basically like that. It's basically that.
So Sandy Wexler is essentially Adam Sandler acting out as a salesman or whatever,
Yes.
or just an annoying ass salesman.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry, that sounds fucking awesome. That sounds like a really good movie. It sounds like it'd be right up his alley because I feel like that's every form of entertainment that Adam Sandler is
And Ridiculous Six had Liam Neeson and fucking no, not Liam Neeson. Did he have Liam Neeson? Whatever the.
I mean, they had Chris Pratt, which that was in his prime.
Ridiculous Six had the fat dude
Chris
from
Pratt
Lost.
in his
That's all I
prime.
know. No, Chris Pratt was in Magnificent Seven. Who?
Oh wait, Chris Pratt wasn't in.
Ridiculous Six? No.
Oh no,
He was in the. He was the serious one.
He was the serious one. He was in the real Magnificent Seven.
Yeah, Ridiculous Six had like the fat dude from fucking Lost.
Okay, all right, well, that's totally different. I don't know.
Sandy Wexler gets the point.
Sandy Wexler, hands down.
Okay, moving on. We got Big Daddy versus That's My Boy.
I don't even know what That's My Boy is.
Big Daddy wins. That's My Boy.
Let's say Big Daddy.
Yeah, Big Daddy wins, but That's My Boy is the movie with him and the guy from Dick in the Box. Who does that song?
Justin Timberlake.
No, the other guy, the main dude. He's
Justin Timberlake.
No. Who does the lonely? Who does that band?
Oh, Adam. No, his name's not Adam. I can't remember his name.
He does other
but
movies.
Yeah,
he did that weird rap movie where he's
he
like a rap star.
Yeah, and he's also a cop in the cop show.
Yes.
Yes, you know it. Blue Streak, not Blue Streak.
No. From the TV series. Nine.
In Line 911.
Yeah.
It's like something like that.
Yeah.
You guys know. You guys. Brooklyn
Nine-Nine. Yeah, he's the main. Yeah, he's that cop.
Yeah. Okay.
He plays
Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg is Adam Sandler's son, but they're like,
God.
but they're like,
wow.
But Adam Sandler in the movie That's My Boy. Adam Sandler was like 10 years old or something, or 12 years old, and he got his his teacher pregnant.
Okay.
And that's the movie. Like and then like it's just flash forwards, and it's like him having to deal with his father that's like just a few years older than him or something, and he's like, oh.
Yeah, it's like a fucking weird life.
Yeah. But it wasn't that good of a movie, but it had like funny. It was a lot of people thought it was gonna be Adam Sandler's return to like the Happy Gilmore comedy.
Yeah.
And so that's why a lot of people went and seen it, is because they're like, oh look, it's gonna be Adam Sandler's return to that style. And it had moments of that, but it wasn't like, it didn't feel legit. It felt kind of forced, like he was trying to make people think it was.
Remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Randomly throwing a tagline from one of his old movies. Like he's sitting there, like Andy Samberg's looking at him, and he's like, "Dad, what's going on? Why are you trying to? What are you doing in the fridge?" He's like, "I'm getting some high quality H2O."
Right. Mr. Deeds versus anger management.
Oh, this is going to be a good one because I liked both of those movies.
Yeah, anger management was so good. It's so good that people have multiple copies at their house.
But Mr. Deeds is one of the last films that I feel like is classic Sandler.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let me elaborate. Let me elaborate on something regarding Mr. Deeds. Mr. Deeds was loosely based on the 1936 film starring Gary Cooper called Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, and that was a little bit different because Gary Cooper played a very silly but a very reserved character at the same time, playing the tuba instead of selling Hallmark cards like Mr. Deeds did or whatever.
Okay.
And
when you say playing the tuba, like you would like walk around the streets playing tuba. What? Give me us examples of like.
well, he would play the tuba at certain locations, just to be a little bit creative, and that was a little bit different than what Adam Sandler's character played.
Yeah.
And also that the character of Longfellow Deeds in the original movie was a lot more serious, but somehow in the climax of the movie, Mr. Deeds ends up giving a lot of his money to the unfortunate because they were suffering during the Great Depression, and a lot of the rich people that were closely associated with Deeds ends up having him declared incompetent in a court of law. And he didn't know what to do at the time until he finally decided to defend himself by saying that some people are pixelated, but pixelated characters help serve a purpose in the community. That was a little bit different from
what do you
the,
mean by pixelated. What is?
weird characters out of, people that were not considered normal at the time,
Yeah.
that they would do something out there to try to make a difference in their community and such. And that was what made that movie, Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, different than the Mr. Deeds from Adam Sandler. Now, what was the other movie?
Anger management.
Anger Management. Now, that was an original film because you never seen anything like that. Because
I'm going to say something to you, Edray.
You think it's opposite? You think that it's not?
I'm going to tell you a film that's better than Mr. Deeds. Than Anger Management. That's fucking the same. School for Scoundrels. Starring...
Yeah.
I think
when was that?
And I think School for Scoundrels is the better film than Mr. I think School for Scoundrels is funnier than Mr. D. Fucking Anger Management.
Damn, you're so drunk you cannot even focus.
But no, School for Scoundrels has...
because you don't like Jack Nicholson.
School for Scoundrels has the Bad Santa guy, and...
Is it because Jack Nicholson
has
touched you as a child?
No, it's Bad Santa and Napoleon Dynamite.
Took his
But
little finger
but replace Jack Nicholson with Bad Santa and replace Adam Sandler. Replace Adam Sandler with Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay.
And have a School for Scoundrels, and that shit was way funnier and a better movie than Anger Management.
No, well, if you let me finish elaborating, yeah, while Anger Management was somewhat original in a sense, I want to say that even though Mr. Deeds was not as good as Mr. Deeds Goes to Town from 1936, I will say that Mr. Deeds was a little bit better.
Yeah. I think Anger Management has 1.5 good scenes. It has I Feel Pretty. That's like the Feel Pretty, which is iconic. It made that song iconic, the Feel Pretty scene, and then Jack Black's appearance in the anger management little area was also iconic.
I mean, like to be fair, like anger management was essentially just it. It was What About Bob, except Jack Nicholson and Adam Sandler. Correct?
I feel like they've done
Jack
this.
Nicholson was the character that was fucking pissed off with Bill Murray the entire movie, right? Like Adam Sandler was the like, oh, I'm so annoying. I'm such an annoying character.
All right,
No.
all right.
No,
Well,
Adam Sandler was he did something that caused him to go to anger management, but the anger management teacher,
Which was Jack.
Jack Nicholson, kept pushing him because the whole thing with him was that he wasn't getting angry and that he would bottle everything in, and so Jack Nicholson pushed him to where he finally just like fuck it up, fuck you, and then that's when he was cured from because they felt like he bottled everything in until he exploded.
all right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say this for people that never seen the original Mr. Deeds Goes to Town. See it and then compare it to Mr. Deeds with Adam Sandler, and you'll see why I like the original far more than the 2002 edition.
So both Longest Yard and Mr. Deeds Go to Town originals, you think, take precedence over the remakes?
Oh yeah, you better see it for yourself.
So what's up with making a remake and just starring Adam Sandler in the main role?
I think Adam Sandler was appreciative of the original roles, and he wanted to give a more comedic spin to something that was already great to begin with. I mean, don't get me wrong, they are good movies, but the original, you cannot touch the original.
And they're money making fucking like machines, am I right? Like, I think that Marvel is one of the most recent like occurrences that we accept. Like, we've grown to understand it now that like just taking a cool concept that like certain people like, and then adding humor to it can make it to where it's acceptable by fucking everyone. You know? And I feel like that's more of what we're getting nowadays.
So I think I'm gonna give the shot to Mr. Deeds for memorability, and I feel like overall, if you rewatch both of these, you'll find Mr. Deeds is the better film, and I feel like Anger Management has been done better, or has been done better. Even though Mr. Deeds might be a remake of the two, it's the better one.
Did they have the golden Powerade fountain in Mr. Deeds Goes to Town?
Which one was it?
There was in Mr. Deeds. They had a like solid gold Powerade fountain.
No. That did.
The water
That
fountain with the
that did.
Powerade.
Well, it was a water fountain of Hawaiian Punch, but no, it did not.
Okay.
It did not exist in Mr. Deeds Go to Town.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that then.
Okay. So Mr. Deeds moves forward, and Anger Management knocks the block.
Yeah, Anger Management did not.
However,
second copy.
Due to time, we are going to finish this with a part 2 next time, where we review a Sam Adams sour beer. Please join us again next time for Opinions and Beer.
Yep.
We will be back with Edray, and we'll do the whole thingy-majigger. And we should be back. We're going to probably close out Oktoberfest this upcoming Sunday with this review, and we're going to finish off the bracket.
What are our plans for that day or whatnot?
The sour, and we're going to finish this off, and we're going to probably tell you about whatever we did for the TV show earlier that day.
Yeah, gonna
Give you some
make
updates.
Progress. We're trying to bring you guys not only more content but better content as well. You know, like we're constantly trying to progress, but we're also trying to innovate as well.
Yes.
So,
So bear with us,
hope you
keep
guys
with
are
us.
enjoying it. Yeah, give us some feedback. Let us know how you're doing.
Join us on our Facebook group.
I mean, yeah, and we're like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, even if we get a little bit of like negative feedback or whatever, like, just seeing you guys like interact with us is enough. Like, it like brings like just a true warmth to my heart, knowing that you guys don't give a shit about what I say. So I appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
And that's just our opinion. And that's fine. Because all we got here are opinions
And beer.
and beer. sometimes we whine with Edray.
God damn it.